Hi, welcome back to our channel. If you're preparing for your U.S. citizenship interview, this is the video for you. In this video, you'll learn how to practice all the yes-no questions from the N-400 Part 9. After watching this video, you will be able to answer the N-400 Part 9 questions with confidence and ease. Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way? Have you ever registered to vote or voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? No. What does claim to be a U.S. citizen mean? To tell someone that you are a U.S. citizen. To tell someone that you are a U.S. citizen. What does vote mean? To elect a new leader. To elect a new leader. Do you currently owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes in the United States? No. Yes. And if you owe taxes, the officer might ask, "Are you planning to pay your overdue taxes?" Yes. What does owe taxes mean? To owe the government money. To owe the government money. What does owe any overdue taxes mean? Didn't pay taxes on time. Didn't pay taxes on time. Since you became a lawful permanent resident, have you called yourself a non-resident alien on a federal, state, or local tax return, or decided not to file a tax return because you considered yourself to be a non-resident? No. What is a non-resident alien? A person who is not a U.S. resident. A person who is not a U.S. resident. What does file a tax return mean? To send a tax form to the government. To send a tax form to the government. Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any communist or totalitarian party anywhere in the world? No. Tell me what the Communist Party is. No freedom, like Cuba or China. No freedom, like Cuba or China. What is a totalitarian party? A political party with total control. A political party with total control. Have you ever advocated, supported, and promoted any of the following, or been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any group anywhere in the world that advocated any of the following? opposition to all organized government, world communism, the establishment in the United States of a totalitarian dictatorship, the overthrow by force or violence or other unconstitutional means of the government of the United States or all forms of law. No. What does communism mean? A political party with a lot of control. A political party with a lot of control. What is a totalitarian dictatorship? A political system with total control. A political system with total control. What does overthrow mean? To remove a government by force. To remove a government by force. Do you understand what unconstitutional means are? Methods not allowed by the Constitution. Methods not allowed by the Constitution. The unlawful assault or killing of any officer or officers of the government of the United States or any other organized government because of their official character. The unlawful damage, injury, or destruction of property or sabotage? No. What does unlawful assaulting mean? To attack someone illegally. To attack someone illegally. What is sabotage? The act of destroying something. The act of destroying something. Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with, or have you ever provided money, a thing of value, services, or labor, or any other assistance or support to a group that used a weapon or explosive with intent to harm another person or cause damage to property? No. What is a weapon? Like a knife, gun, or bomb. Like a knife, gun, or bomb. What is explosive? A substance that can explode. A substance that can explode. Engaged, participated in kidnapping, assassination, or hijacking or sabotage of an airplane, ship, vehicle, or other mode of transportation? No. What does kidnapping mean? Taking someone by force illegally. Taking someone by force illegally. What is assassination? The killing of someone famous. The killing of someone famous. What is hijacking? Taking control of a vehicle by force. Taking control of a vehicle by force. Threatened, attempted, tried, conspired, planning with others, prepared, planned, advocated for, or incited, encouraged others to commit any of the acts listed in item numbers 6.A or 6.B? No. What does threaten mean? To tell someone you will hurt them. To tell someone you will hurt them. What does conspire mean? To plan secretly with other people. To plan secretly with other people. What does incited mean? To encourage someone to do something illegal. To encourage someone to do something illegal. Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in any of the following? Torture, genocide, killing or trying to kill any person? No. What does torture mean? To cause great pain to someone. To cause great pain to someone. What does genocide mean? Killing a whole race. Killing a whole race. What does kill mean? To cause someone to die. To cause someone to die. Intentionally and severely injuring or trying to injure any person? Any kind of sexual contact or activity with any person who did not consent, did not agree, or was unable to consent, could not agree, or was being forced or threatened by you or someone else? No. What does injure mean? To hurt someone. To hurt someone. What does sexual contact or activity mean? Touching private parts of someone. Touching private parts of someone. What does did not consent mean? Did not agree. Did not agree. Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in any of the following? Not letting someone practice their religion. Causing harm or suffering to any person because of their race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group or political opinion? No. What is religion? The belief in a god or gods. The belief in a god or gods. What is suffering? Physical or mental pain of a person. Physical or mental pain of a person. Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, helped, or participated in any military or police unit? Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, helped, or participated in any armed group, a group that carries weapons, for example, paramilitary units, a group of people who act like a military group but are not part of the official military, self-defense unit, vigilante unit, rebel group, or guerrilla group? No. What is a military unit? The official army for a country. The official army for a country. What is a paramilitary unit? Like a military group but not official. Like a military group but not official. What is a self-defense unit? A group that protects a community. A group that protects a community. What is a rebel group? A group that fights the government. A group that fights the government. What does guerrilla group mean? A group that uses weapons to attack the government. A group that uses weapons to attack the government. Have you ever worked, volunteered, or otherwise served in a place where people were detained, forced to stay, for example, a prison, jail, prison camp, a camp where prisoners of war or political prisoners are kept, detention facility, or labor camp? Or have you ever directed or participated in any other activity that involved detaining people? No. What does to be detained mean? Held in custody by police. Held in custody by police. What is prison or jail? A place where prisoners are kept. A place where prisoners are kept. What is a detention facility? A place where people are forced to stay. A place where people are forced to stay. What is a labor camp? A place where people are forced to work. A place where people are forced to work. Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so? If you answered yes to item number 10.A, when were you a part of this group or when you helped this group? Did you ever use a weapon against another person? If you answered yes to item number 10.A, When you were a part of this group or when you helped this group, did you ever threaten another person that you would use a weapon against that person? No. Have you ever sold, provided, or transported weapons or assisted any person in selling, providing, or transporting weapons which you knew or believed would be used against another person? Have you ever received any weapons training, paramilitary training, or other military type training? No. What is weapons training? Learning how to use a gun. Learning how to use a gun. What is paramilitary training? Learning how to fight in combat. Learning how to fight in combat. What is military type training? Learning how to fight in combat. Learning how to fight in combat. Have you ever recruited, asked, enlisted, signed up, conscripted, required to join, or used any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help an armed group or attempted or worked with others to do so? Have you ever used any person under 15 years of age to take part in hostilities or attempted or worked with others to do so? This could include participating in combat or providing services related to combat, such as serving as a messenger or transporting supplies. No. What does recruit mean? To ask someone to join the armed forces. To ask someone to join the armed forces. Have you ever committed, assisted in committing, or attempted to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? No. What does commit mean? To do something wrong or illegal. To do something wrong or illegal. What is a crime? An action that breaks the law. An action that breaks the law. What is an offense? A minor crime. A minor crime. What does to be arrested mean? To be handcuffed by the police. To be handcuffed by the police. Have you ever been arrested, cited, detained, or confined by any law enforcement officer, military official in the U.S. or elsewhere, or immigration official for any reason, or been charged with a crime or offense? No. Yes. If you have received any traffic tickets behind the wheel, you must answer yes to this question, so the traffic ticket is a citation. What does to be cited mean? Given a ticket by police. Given a ticket by police. What does to be confined mean? To be kept in a place. To be kept in a place. What does to be charged mean? To be accused of a crime. To be accused of a crime. Have you ever received a suspended sentence, been placed on probation, or been paroled? No. Yes. If you answered yes, have you completed the probation or parole? Yes or no? What does suspended sentence mean? Delaying a sentence. Delaying a sentence. Have you ever used any person under 15 years of age to take part in hostilities or attempted or worked with others to do so? This could include participating in combat or providing services related to combat, such as serving as a messenger or transporting supplies. No. What does procure mean? To find a prostitute for somebody. To find a prostitute for somebody. Please tell me what prostitute is. Someone who has sex for money. Someone who has sex for money. What is prostitution? The work of a prostitute. The work of a prostitute. Have you ever manufactured, cultivated, produced, distributed, dispensed, sold, or smuggled, trafficked any controlled substances, illegal drugs, narcotics, or drug paraphernalia in violation of any law or regulation of a U.S. state, the United States, or a foreign country? No. What does smuggle mean? To take things to a country illegally. To take things to a country illegally. What are controlled substances? Drugs controlled by the government. Drugs controlled by the government. What are illegal drugs or narcotics? Like heroin or cocaine. Like heroin or cocaine. What is drug paraphernalia? Equipment to make or use illegal drugs. Equipment to make or use illegal drugs. Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time? Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit? Have you ever helped anyone to enter or try to enter the United States illegally? No. What does obtain mean? To gain something. To gain something. What is an immigration benefit? Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship. Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship. What does illegally mean? Not allowed by the law. Not allowed by the law. Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? Have you ever failed to support your dependents, pay child support, or to pay alimony, court-ordered financial support after divorce or separation? No. What does gamble mean? To play a game for money. To play a game for money. What does illegal gambling mean? To play a game for money illegally. To play a game for money illegally. What does pay alimony mean? To pay money to an ex-spouse after a divorce. To pay money to an ex-spouse after a divorce. Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States? No. How do you define misrepresentation? The act of giving false information. The act of giving false information. What is public benefit? Welfare, like food stamps, housing, or health care. Welfare, like food stamps, housing, or health care. Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States? No. Do you know what false is? It means it's not true. It means it's not true. What is fraudulent? To be dishonest. To be dishonest. What is misleading? Giving somebody the wrong idea. Giving somebody the wrong idea. What does lie mean? To say something that is not true. To say something that is not true. Have you ever been placed in removal, rescission, or deportation proceedings? Have you ever been removed or deported from the United States? No. Do you know what removal is? Making someone leave the U.S. Making someone leave the U.S. Do you understand what rescission is? To take back a decision. To take back a decision. What is deportation proceeding? A legal process for deporting a person. A legal process for deporting a person. What does to be deported mean? To be forced to leave the U.S. To be forced to leave the U.S. Are you a person born as a male who lived in the United States at any time between your 18th and 26th birthdays? No. Yes. If you answered yes to item number 22.a, did you register for the Selective Service? No. Yes. If you answered yes to item number 22.b, provide information about your registration. What is Selective Service? Services in armed forces under law. Services in armed forces under law. Have you ever left the United States to avoid being drafted in the U.S. Armed Forces? Have you ever applied for any kind of exemption from military service in the U.S. Armed Forces? Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? No. What does avoid being drafted mean? To prevent being selected as a soldier. To prevent being selected as a soldier. Do you know what U.S. Armed Forces are? U.S. Military, Navy, Air Force, Space Force. U.S. Military, Navy, Air Force, Space Force. Are you currently a member of the U.S. Armed Forces? No. If you answered yes to item number 26.a, are you scheduled to deploy outside the United States, including to a vessel within the next 3 months? No. Yes. If you answered yes to item number 26.a, are you currently stationed outside the United States? No. Yes. If you answered no to item number 26.a, are you a former U.S. military service member who is currently residing outside of the U.S.? Yes or no? Have you ever been court-martialed or have you received a discharge characterized as other than honorable, bad conduct, or dishonorable while in the U.S. Armed Forces? Have you ever been discharged from training or service in the U.S. Armed Forces because you were an alien? Have you ever deserted from the U.S. Armed Forces? No. Do you know what alien is? A person who lives in a country but is not a citizen. A person who lives in a country but is not a citizen. Do you now have, or did you ever have, a hereditary title or an order of nobility in any foreign country? No. Yes. If you answered yes to item number 30.A, are you willing to give up any inherited titles or orders of nobility that you have in a foreign country at your naturalization ceremony? Yes. What is a hereditary title? A royal title such as a prince or princess. A royal title such as a prince or princess. Do you know what an order of nobility is? A position given by a king or queen. A position given by a king or queen. Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Yes. What is the Constitution? It's the supreme law of the land. It's the supreme law of the land. What is the form of government of the United States? Republic. Republic. What does allegiance mean? To be loyal to something. To be loyal to something. Are you unable to take the oath of allegiance because of a physical or developmental disability or mental impairment? No. What does developmental disability mean? A problem with body movement or function. A problem with body movement or function. What does mental impairment mean? Having a mental problem. Having a mental problem. Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? Yes. What does oath of allegiance to the United States mean? A promise to be loyal to the United States. A promise to be loyal to the United States. What does bear arms mean? To own or use a gun to fight. To own or use a gun to fight. If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction? Yes. What does non-combatant services mean? Services that do not involve combat or fighting. Services that do not involve combat or fighting. What is work of national importance? Tasks that are important to a nation during crisis. Tasks that are important to a nation during crisis. What is a civilian direction? A direction from a person who is not in the military. A direction from a person who is not in the military. Thank you for watching. For a quick review on your phone anytime, please check the link in the description. After a small payment, you'll receive instant access to download the file. You can reopen it anytime from the Downloads folder on your phone.